how you guys doing? Taylor Woolston here, and we are doing our Christmas special episode here. So for this Christmas special, we are flying from Gimli Industrial Park Airport to Winnipeg International Airport. And for this Christmas special, we've made the weather so that it is extremely snowy, very windy, and very overcast, cloudy, whatever, and lower visibility. So although the date in real life is December 22nd, we've set the date inside the flight simulator for the flight to December 25th, Christmas Day. So, yeah, without further notice, let's get going here. So I'll set out flaps here. I'll set them out more than I need to. Now what we're going to do for this flight, would this plane stop? I don't even have any throttles going. Okay, now the throttles are going down. Anyways, what we're going to do here is we're going to hit Shift 3 to bring the GPS up here on this thing, which you can move it. And then we're going to hit this button. We're going to hit this knob with the plus on twice, and then we're going to type in CYWG and then hit enter twice, or 3 times, sorry. And now that line will direct us to the airport, to Winnipeg International Airport. You can see it there. If you can see my cursor, I don't know if you can. On the screen it's actually black, so yeah. Anyways, we're gonna leave that up. I don't really want to go like that. Oh well. Any better option? This is far back. I guess we're just gonna. Well, we can move it like that, I guess. Got our distance on the right there. Yeah, and if you saw my last video, which was my last amateur pilot video, which was a while ago, but if you saw it, you'll know that I used the GPS before to navigate me over, but I didn't have the distance. So now we have a distance because we have the GPS up on this screen. So anyways, let's get going here. You can see it's extremely snowy, so now, while I did do a few test flights, I never flew to the airport. I never flew to Winnipeg. I was thinking of doing it, but I'm going to do it blind. Quite literally blind because of all the snow and lower visibility. This runway is pretty short for this aircraft, so hopefully don't go crashing into the trees and stuff. If we do, that would be bad. Let's just bring the gear up right away. Bring back the flaps so this stupid thing stops whining at me. Okay, I think we're good for that. We'll start turning towards the airport. Oops, that might be a bit sharp on the turn. Now, if you're new to the series or whatever, or you've just forgotten, we only fly on the amateur pilot. We only fly using manual controls, no autopilot, no auto throttle, no nothing, no automation. It's just by hand, all the way. Manual throttles, manual controls, everything. That's what we're doing for this series. We might use autopilot in the future, but for now, that's not what we're doing. Pull the throttles back a bit here. As you might notice, we have a bit of turbulence here because of the high winds and stuff. Bring the flaps back. I won't put the flaps back all the way because they're. Well, we might. I don't know, but of course we're not flying that far. As you can see, we got 37 nautical miles to go. Well, what are you guys hoping for Christmas this year? I've already got a Christmas present this year, which is a pair of ice skates. So, and I've been practicing with my ice skates. If you saw that video on the channel before this one, you'll see my video of me ice skating for one of the first times ever. So, not really much else that I'm hoping for. I mean, money and games for my Switch, or maybe eShop money for, but yeah. We're descending. I don't want to descend yet. 32 nautical miles away from the airport. Yeah, I really wish I knew that I could bring up the GPS on this screen here, the full GPS onto this mode or this screen or whatever, onto the virtual cockpit. Because yeah, on my Grand Forks flight, my last flight on this channel, because that's a much longer flight, like 20 or 30 minutes, something like that. And yeah, I didn't have a distance indicator, so yeah. I mean, here I could go without the distance indicator because it's not that long of a flight, just follow the line, but yeah, for that Grand Forks flight, definitely would have been nice to have that, but yeah, it's done now, so yeah. 27 nautical miles now. Yeah, it's been a while since I've played Flight Simulax really at all. This is today, December 22nd. This is the first time I've played since, well, probably since the Grand Forks flight I did a while ago. Okay, I'm trying to line myself up with that pink line going from the airport at Gimli to the Winnipeg airport. So yeah, trying to hang out at around 4,000 feet-ish. I've descended a bit from that. I was at like 4,100. I think we're pretty much lined up with the pink line now. I can't even see it on the smaller display, although I can see it on the full-size display. Cannot see the airport yet, but oh, now I can on the smaller display. I think that might be it on the bigger display. I don't know. One nice thing actually about doing this flight with the GPS here is that it lines you up almost perfectly with the runway. Probably slightly off, but maybe, I don't know. This is my first time doing this flight with the GPS, but oops, descending again. Actually, it's probably a good thing that we're descending. Now it's gonna be fun trying to find the airport. Also, we've stopped snowing apparently. Oh well. Oops, we're descending way too fast here. Let's start putting up flaps here. I cannot see the airport yet. Visibility is still low though. I cannot see the airport yet with my own eyes on the actual outside the cockpit. So I'm trying to get a good look here, but low visibility is not helping us. We're actually in one of my quote-unquote test flights. I did a U-turn after taking off from Brandon, and yeah, a very dangerous U-turn I might add. And yeah, we had to be pretty close to the airport in order to see the runway. So yeah. Now we're getting offline here. Need to turn back to the left. put flaps out here and try to slow down as we approach the airport somewhere. I cannot see the airport with my own eyes. There's something there, but it's like a flickering line, white line. I have no idea what that is. Let's maintain our altitude at around 2,000 feet here until we see the runway, 1320 above the ground, because I cannot see the airport at all. Maybe I should have done a test flight to the airport, but no, I wanted to do it blind. I absolutely cannot see the airport, unless that flickering line is part of it, but I don't think it is. We're 6 nautical miles away from the airport, so make that 5 nautical miles. Oh, I can see a light now. I can see a landing light or whatever. Poppy light, whatever it is. So that's something at least. Trying to see what indication it's giving. Like red and yellow, whatever, but I just cannot see it. I don't even know if we're lined up with the runway at all. Oh, crap. It's way over to the left. Alright, let's do some dangerous stuff here. Let's be extremely dangerous. Slow down, airplane. Slow down.
Sink rate. Sink rate. Pull up. Pull up. Pull up. Pull up. Pull up.
Whew. That was a very dangerous landing, but we are going to stop on the runway with barely enough room to spare. Oh god, the wheels are spoken. Well, let's take a look at the instant replay and instantly regret it. So, coming into the airport here, I can't even see the airport from this view. See some roads down there. Alright, here's a fun game. Figure out what road that is. I don't even know what that is. Based on our position, what would that be? One of the roads might be the perimeter highway. I don't know what the other one would be. We're coming in from the north. I don't know. And that is when I realized, that's when I started to see the lights, at least, and probably realized that we were way off. And I'm scrambling to get over. Yeah, if there's one thing I really don't like doing, it's doing a go-around. Oh my god, that sucks so much. And doing it on here would be an absolute nightmare, like with the weather conditions. Where's my landing gear? My landing gear... For some reason, the simulator is not showing my landing gear here. Even though it was... Oh, no, wait. Or maybe I was a bit late with getting it down. I don't know. Was I that late with getting the landing gear down? I have no idea. I don't think I was. And then there I go, putting out the speed brakes to help slow myself down. I get a feeling in real life I probably would have went off the end of the runway. But, and then I do these little maneuvers to try and help keep me on the runway. Oh, let's look at one more angle. Look at this side view here from this position on the right side. So I think by now I've realized how badly off course I am. Now I'm trying to compensate for it. And I'm just trying to scramble to get over and get down as well without, crashing. Okay, I really think in real life I would have went off the end of the runway, but who knows. Yeah. Well, because it's supposed to be a Christmas special. I mean, this was special, me almost crashing. I mean, but since it's supposed to be a special, I think I'll do one more flight. Yeah, 2 for the price of 1. I'll do one more flight from Gimli to Winnipeg, but this time I'll do it in clear conditions. I think mostly just for my sake. So, we'll be back in a second. Alright, we are now back and ready to do our second flight here in totally perfect conditions. So, no clouds, no wind, no snow or rain, nothing. Hopefully this one will go a bit better because I'll actually be able to see the airport. Yeah, we should pull up here. I'll start pulling back the flaps right away here, at least partially. Start making our turn. Fast here. So I'll go no higher than about 4,000 feet as we get towards the airport. I'll try to hold it around 250 knots. Easier said than done, of course. Okay, our altitude vertical speed is more than enough. Okay. 38 nautical miles to go. Straighten out here for now. As we proceed towards Winnipeg. And again, hopefully this flight will go a bit better now that I can actually see outside the cockpit here properly. We'll pull back the flaps here because we don't need them right now. Of This is going to make the airplane go faster. So, less lift, but more speed. Oops. Back up. Up. Come on. I already lost a couple hundred feet. Yeah, back up. Pull back the throttle so you're going much faster than I want. Go over to the left here now. Let's go up to 4,500 feet, so a bit higher. Looking at the cockpit here, I do feel like I'm a bit low. So go up 4,500, maybe 5,000 feet. Of course, that 5,000 feet is not how high we are above air, or how far up we are above the ground. That's how far above sea level we are. So, that altitude. Yeah. Anyways, we're almost lined up with this line. Might have went a bit past it by accident, but that's no problem, especially if we're able to see the airport. Hold it around here, altitude, maybe go up about 4750-ish, and give ourselves about 250 knots of up, or 250 feet up and down. And you might want to increase our speed. It's gone quite low, 206 knots. We need to turn left here more. Now we're going way past our line, and now we're going too high. So yeah, it's not as easy as it looks to fly an airplane manual. You know? I mean, I am an amateur, so I mean, for a normal pilot, you know, I mean, it's no easier, but they at least know what they're doing. It's going to be hard. Of course, it's going to be harder for a real pilot because they have a real airplane to control. Okay, let's go back down, both in speed and altitude. Higher than I want, faster than I want. Okay, pull it up, back up here, somewhere around here. This is perfectly fine. Well, a bit lower. Go back to the left here a bit. And now pull it back to the right. And hopefully we can stay on the line. Which will more or less bring us into the runway if we follow it perfectly. On our last flight, we were actually a bit off the line, so for a lot of the flight, hopefully this time will be a bit better. And guess what? We were off the line too. Relatively speaking, we were to the right of the line, so we got the airport on the GPS. 19 nautical miles to go. Cannot visually see it just on the GPS, but descending very slightly, which is okay as we approach the airport. See the airport yet. Maybe a bit to the right of the line right now. I'm not sure. Let's see. Trying to find the airport, but especially since you're getting relatively close to the airport. What I should go down now, I can see it. I need to go to the right a bit. Of course, it's not. Of course, the line doesn't perfectly line us up, so we need to line ourselves up a bit when we find the airport. To the right, to the right. Start putting out flaps and lowering their speed right on down. To the left, please. To the left, to the left. To the left, please. Now I need to go back. Now we're not lined up again. Third gear down. I guess we really don't need that screen up anymore. So it's all visual now. So descending a bit fast here. Good according to the lights there, I think. It's like one yellow, one red, which is mean to good. Just trying to bring her nice and gentle. Speed might be a bit low, but a bit more flaps here. Alright. Just bring her nice and gentle. Looks like about 1,000 feet per minute is good. Looks like we're perfectly lined up now, more or less. Okay, let's go all the way out for flaps. Might be a bit high now. Speed's getting a bit low. Oh, now our altitude's a bit low. Okay.
Don't sink. Don't sink.
We're coming into land.
Don't sink. Don't sink.
Crying out loud. Okay, now we're way too high. Just bring her nice and gentle.
Sink rate. Sink rate.
Okay, that was a bit harder of a landing than I'd probably want, but now we're a bit offline, but I think we're all on the runway, so. Well, it was definitely a lot better than the last one, but that's probably because we could see. And now to the instant replay. Coming in here. Okay, those alarms kind of messed me up a bit, I think. I should just ignore them completely. Because they don't know I'm trying to land at an airport that I'm lined up with. Not much to say here. forget, what was my speed when I touched down? It seemed like my speed was really low when I touched down. I don't know if that's why I was unable to get my vertical speed towards 0, because I was stalling, basically. Okay, that's kind of rough, but whatever. There's not much else to see in this view. Maybe I'll go to the other view now. Get our side view here. Nose up as they come down. Maybe not as much as a real landing, but what do I know? But now it's up higher. So I think that's because we're trying to make the alarms happy. Not much to say. Looks, for me anyways, it looks pretty good. Yeah, so far. Of course, the hard landing is a bit of a negative, but other than that, you know. Pull that nose back up. Probably because we're too low, I think, remember? Now that nose is really high up. I'm gonna try out. I think we almost did a tail strike. That looked pretty close anyways. But yeah, nose was nice and high, just falling pretty fast. Well, anyways, if you like that video and want to see more, then hit that like button, and comment, and subscribe. And that's about it. Goodbye.